Welcome to NBA 2K25's guide for these settings, and we're gonna get into a bunch of different key things in this game, and I want you guys to lock in because I learned a lot, and I want to share it with y'all. Hope y'all enjoy this one going down right now. Let's get it. Let's get it. So I've been playing the game early, and I did my settings last year. You guys love that, and we're gonna get into it again. I want to talk about a couple of simple general ones before we get into the really detailed ones for shooting and all of the new features. First and foremost, difficulty. I always recommend to play on Hall of Fame for the most part when you're offline and stuff because it's going to help you play online. So if you're a guy who does play online, just stick to Hall of Fame. And if you can shoot your shot and do everything in Hall of Fame, you'll be fine on the online modes. Okay, that's my recommendation. But if you're really struggling and you just need to build your confidence and practice your shot, start lowering it and see where you stand. If you're like at pro, then there's a problem. You're gonna want to turn it up little by little and get yourself to Hall of Fame. Play one game on All-Star and then another game on Superstar, and then stay on Superstar until you can hit the shot and then move up further. That's something I used to do in my earlier days, and it really does work. I turn fatigue and stuff off because I'm basically playing offline and I just want to make sure getting my practice in basically. But we're going to go all the way down here. I do turn camera off, by the way. That's the one thing that I will say. And I turn music off because I don't want no copyright strikes. Other than that, there's nothing in here that's mandatory. We are going to talk about crossplay. Last year, when I turned it off, I had better connection and I didn't have as much lag. So I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think they're going to fix that, and we'll find out shortly. But here is a very important piece of information that we're going to start getting into and diving down a rabbit hole. If you don't have a PlayStation 5, you don't got to worry about trigger effects, but I turned this off because I am on PlayStation. Now, this right here, shot timing profile. This is a full video if I really wanted to make one, but let's talk about it. Shot timing profile basically allows you to select a variety of different settings. You can put difficulty based. Now, remember, when you're online, these are the ones that you'll get right here. Okay, real player percentage is not a thing, but the rest will be, right? And so just think about low, normal, and high. And we're going to talk about all of them. I'm going to start with low, even though it's not the one I recommend. I recommend high, and I'll explain why in a second. But let's just go through the information. Basically going to make it so that like your rating and your openness and the smart shots you take are going to be good. But when you mistime them, it can still go in. Now, here's the problem with this. Your green window is a lot smaller and it's difficult to time it consistently. But if you make it in, it'll be good. This is somewhat of a beginner kind of setting. But the problem with that is that you don't want to be stuck in that world because you're not going to benefit from being a good player. Now we're going to get into high profile because I don't think you should be in the middle. It should either be, if you're just starting off, go here. But if you're deep into the game and you really feel confident with your shot, and I wouldn't want to say like a pro player, but you feel really comfortable, you put this on, and even not force yourself to do this because I think this is how you're going to get better. You're going to take contested shots sometimes, and you're going to be able to make them more and not. But it's green or miss. So if you can't hit that green window, you're gonna have a problem. The best part about this is that the green window is bigger, and then you'll be able to be consistent with your shot if you know how to stay within the green window, of course. The problem is mastering the timing, and then there's very few errors in this one. You're not gonna get those whites when it goes in. So take the time to learn this. I'll do a shooting video at some point and break that down. Now for layups, I honestly recommend low because it's hard for a lot of you guys. Honestly speaking, I'm like a natural guy where I don't want any of this stuff. I want it to be just pure skill. If you can hit your layups, go for it. I put it on high because the same concept goes for both, but I prefer low if I wasn't really like somebody who wanted to try to get better at it. And so I recommend low for everyone, not just casuals. Even top players. It makes life easier for you You're not always going to time the layups right, but I don't like it as much because you're going to get contested. So I prefer to go high. That way, when I do get contested on a layup, it's my timing, not the profile. Okay. Very key thing to think about. And again, this is a shooting tip. We're not going down this rabbit hole on this video, but in the end of the day, push is kind of like the natural form. Okay. And you can set it to very, very fast and just tap the button, or you can set it to release, which means you got to hold it for much longer until the ball's literally out of your hands, basically. Right? These in between is when you set your feet, and then when you push up, pushing the ball and stuff like that. So these are choices, and it's going to be another video breaking down shooting. I mean, we could literally just make a full video on that. Personally, my shot meter, I like it on all, but I'm just doing it on stick right now, so you don't have to worry about that. And we're going to go down here. There's a very important new mechanic that I hate. Passive dribble hand switch. Okay, I want this off. You should have it off, and you should be ready to go from here. Because what happens is you're just standing still and it'll dribble the ball to the left or the right, and you can't do a good combo when the game is automatically switching the ball all over the place. It's going to change your crossover into a hezzy and all this nonsense. And hey, maybe if you're a casual, I don't want to try to leave you guys out. I totally get it, and you're probably new to the game and you're just wanting to get in there and just fool around. And this is going to be fine, in my opinion. But again, for everybody else, if you really want to dribble well, please keep that on. If you watch my videos, that means you're going to get good. But just follow my order. Trust me, you'll get better as time goes on. I have dribble guys and all that stuff. They don't have defensive assists this year, which I don't like. I want that back, and I want to drop it to 0. I don't like having any assists on my defense, but they have the box out assist. Put this at 0 as well, because it lets you control your player. I don't know if you guys ever know that, and you feel like when you're playing defense or when you're going to get a rebound, you kind of get a magnet and you're glued to whoever's next to you, and that's not okay. So having this at 0 allows you to just control your player, detach from that magnet easier. So just think of it as like, if I want to have the magnet high, I'll just put this on and the game will control me, or I can lower it and be in control myself. And again, if you're a new player, if you're watching my videos, you're going to get very good at this game with my guides, because I give very simple beginner and advanced tips together, because sometimes people try to throw advanced tips, but really it's not necessary. Everything is for beginners to learn as well. That's how I feel about it. And then past, this would be another video that I would make. It depends on what type of player you are and your IQ. If you're using icons, you don't need this at all. Don't always use icons. It's much easier to use the sticks at certain situations. It's just more fluid because you're able to shoot, you're able to do extra things without having to worry about this. So just basically, if I put this up, I'm going to be able to let the game tell me who's open, but that's going to control my game. So I want to lower this as low as possible. And from my testing so far and from last year, about a 6 openness is good, and then 50 for distance, and then direction is when you press a button, that's the direction it's going to go. And again, this is another guide to break this down in deeper conversation. Very key. Now, there's a new feature in here that I absolutely love, and apologies for that there. This is the HUD for everything that you want to do and that you don't want to do. I'm going to tell you to put all your shots feedback on. There should be no reason you don't have this on, whether it's for your friends or for yourself. You want that. And then for meter, this is a big one. We're going to get into it right now. I will turn all of them on as well, guys. I don't have them on because I play differently. I will turn them all on. I like arrow. Some people might like the dial, and I totally get it. This is a good one, but personally, arrow just feels better. Okay, so you're watching arrow right there. I like to make it large because that's going to let me see it even better. It's pretty small when you leave it normal. I mean, this is the original height that you have it. This right here is very nice, and you can put it towards your heads. You can put it at your feet. I don't like the feet at all. The side one is nice. The head and the side one to me are the best too. It's just personal preference on what you're feeling. I don't like the meter at all. So this actually is a feature that I'm not using. I use it when I first started playing the first hour. And then I said, I want to be better. I want to get better. So I'm going to turn them off, get a little shooting boost, and do my thing that way. Okay. The rest of these is personal preference. There's nothing here that's going to help you get better and play better. You know, like these different visuals, they're not that necessary. It's not going to do anything for you. And that's pretty much the full tutorial for settings. It's going to help you big time. I hope this didn't go too fast. I hope it was good enough to kind of get you started, and then you can figure out the game. And by the way, the game is not out yet. I'm playing it early. I have guides for this game when it comes to dribbling, when it comes to everything in the game. I got you. It should be popping up right now, so make sure you check that out and lock in on the channel. Appreciate y'all.